Good morning, class. Welcome once again. We are going to continue from where we stopped last time, but today we are going to look at HTML tags. Excuse me. We are going to look at HTML tags, and we are saying HTML tags are elements. Element names surrounded by angle brackets, and we are saying that is the tag name, then the content goes here, and then we also have the end of the tag name. HTML tags normally come in pairs. If it is, for example, a paragraph, then we are looking at the opening tag of P and then the closing tag with a /. We are saying that the first tag in a pair is the start tag, then the second tag is end tag. The end tag is written like the start tag but with a / inserted before the tag name. So sometimes they also call the start tag as an opening tag, and then the end tag as the closing tag. So we have web browsers. We are saying that the browser does not display the HTML tags but uses them to determine how to display the document, display or render. We had looked at that on top. We can now go to what we call HTML headings, and we are saying we have around 6 headings, and they start from H1 to H6, whereby H1 is the largest and H6 is the smallest. One other thing you will note while dealing with headings is that then if you are going to say like heading 2, you might not need to bold it, or heading 1, they are quite big enough, so you don't have to go ahead and bold some of these headings. They are big enough, so we can try recreating it. We can come here, like I had told you, that anything you want will be between these body tags, anything you want to be displayed. We can put what we call, introduce another tag here, that is called HR, horizontal line, that we're going to draw a line there and separate some of these. We can also put a BR, break line, so it's going to draw a horizontal line and create some space under that line where we can begin from. So we can say that these are headings H1. We can say this is heading 1. If that is the case, then I can come here, copy this and paste it all the other times. Then I will change this to heading 2. This is heading 3, 4, 5, and then heading 6. So I will come and edit this. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Same applies to the closing tag here. So it will be 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Once again, save if you didn't click on auto save. If you did, it has already saved. All you need to do is to come to your page now and refresh. Then it will start processing your code. You can see our HR is here, the horizontal line. Now they are read like this: heading 1, heading 2, up to heading 6. We can look at what follows next. The good thing is that the notes also have got screenshots of how this would look like. We can now look at paragraphs, or what we call a P tag, and can say, come back to our Visual Studio Code here, can maybe copy this and paste it here if that is what we want all the time. Then we can say paragraph, we say maybe a paragraph is written with a p tag. We come back to our web browser, we refresh, and we can see it here that the paragraph is written with a p tag. Inside here I added in some what we call inline styling. You can also choose to do it, maybe add another paragraph here and say that this paragraph it has some parts colored green and others italicized. So then we do what we call inline styling, that says style, and the style, what do we want? Maybe we want color. Since we are saying that the color, we can pick maybe color is the sea green. You can see I am just moving out once to pick another property. This is called a property. When you come to CSS, this would be a CSS property, then this would be a CSS property value, or just a CSS value. So we are going to maybe say we can say font size, we say 25 pixels. By default it was around 15 pixels, so we can save 25 pixels. We can now say that let's see what else did we add in here. Added in font style, we can say font style italic, since we said it is italicized. We save. If you have not used autosave, make sure you save. So when I refresh my page, I have another paragraph, that this paragraph has some parts colored green and others italicized. So that is a paragraph tag. We can also come to links, a few of them. What are links in general before we add on, because we are going to meet them in CSS, quite huge, and how to manipulate them in a number of ways. For now, there are many things we can do with links. We can change their blades, with their colors and other things. But for now, we can say that HTML links are created with an anchor tag, The link destination is specified in href attribute hyperreference. Href means hyperreference, like how you see a hyperlink in Microsoft Office Word. Here we have an href hyperlink reference. We have also attributes. We are saying attributes are used to provide additional information about HTML elements. So we have created some of these three links, and they are live. What do I mean by live? It means they can, once you click on them, they can quickly take you to these particular pages you have linked to. So let us do it here quickly. We can say just this HRBR to create that spacing, and we say this is the spelling error I'm talking about. Now we have paragraph. So we can come here and say that we have you're talking about links. HRBR, we say a href. What are we linking to? Maybe we're linking to www.google.com. What does this represent? This part, this represents the link. Where do you want this link to link to? And this section in between the closing and opening tag, we write what the user is going to see. Maybe we want the user to see Google as a word, or yes, just like that. So that is what the user is going to see. So we can create another one and say www.ucu.ac.ug, and then we say that this one should look at UCU. We can create another one and say and we say www. Maybe wikipedia.com, and then here we call this Wikipedia, just like that. So when we save and refresh our page, now you can see our links all are here. When you hover over them or bring your mouse over them, you can see where they are pointing. That one is pointing to www at the right corner here. You see it, right bottom corner. It is saying www.google.com. This is pointing to UCU. This is pointing to Wikipedia. So if you are connected online, then you can just click here, and this link will take you to Google. This link will open the UCU website, and this link will also open the Wikipedia website. So the difference, we shall look at other attributes while dealing with this, because there are many other attributes, not very many, but some important attributes we can apply here that will help us. For now, when we click on Google, it opens on this page, yet it shall add another attribute that tells it to open on a different page. Some of these we are going to run them as we file is not found. That is okay. We can come here and say that add another attribute, maybe on all of them. You can create this for all of these while holding Alt button, the Alt button, ALT button on your keyboard, and then simply type target and say underscore blank. So what this means is that when you click on this word, there is now a link to google.com. It should open google.com, but on a different you have to refresh every time you change anything, but on a different tab. So like you see here, it is opening on a different tab, so that way it will not open inside our documents. So we can, that is one of the attributes that you can use, and these links we shall see. We shall look at other attributes. So we can come to our notes, our code here, and choose to write a full URL, HTTP. That would put HTTPS, it doesn't matter much. HTTP then www.google.com. You and edit some of these. Then come here, refresh your page such that when you click on Google, now we can come to www.google.com as a page. When we click on UCU, we can now open the UCU web page and go on and read more about this page. So the links you've created are very well working and alive. You can also try it out if you have we cannot maybe reach this website or something, but that should also be okay, because you don't have internet. If you had internet, it would open just like it was opening here. So this you can edit out, you can edit like that. When we come back to our notes here, those are the links. We can now come back to our pages, and we are looking at HTML images. We are saying that HTML images are defined with the image tag. We have the source, alternative text, width and height as attributes. You are going to see how these affect our image. So what do you need to do this? You make sure you already have some images in your folder of images. As you can see, I have around 3 images in my folder. So you can go online, download some images, and then make sure you save them inside the images folder. So when I come here, my folder, when I open, my images are here. So that is what you also need to do. After doing that, then come back here, we do our HRBR to create that horizontal line and the space down below. Then we can say that image like that. Where is the source? The source is in the folder of images. Why do I do that? If you need to go a folder inside the folder, then you can say // If you use double dots, you will be picking a folder outside the folder you are in. As you can see, a folder we are in is HTML and CSS, so we are saying we want to pick an image that is outside the folder we are in. That is the source of the image. That is where the image is saved. Otherwise, since the images are in the folder inside the folder HTML and CSS, so we save // we come to CSS like that, and then we can we are going to pick images, so we got the folder images, and then we can select any of these images that we want. So we want image 28, alternative text, this could say maybe earth underscore image. So for now, we can first save that, refresh the page and see how this is going to look like. You can see our image, quite very huge of an image without those other attributes. So we can come back and see, look at other attributes, for example, height. Now, height attributes, press enter to have those. We can maybe say 500 pixels. Let us save if you have not used the file and auto save. So come back, refresh the page. Now the height is like that. So you can also add width. We say width is 500 pixels. So come back, refresh, and now we have a width of 500 pixels. If the image is not looking good, you come and play around with this. Maybe let us take it to 700 and refresh, and then we have something That looks much better. So here we have inserted an image, and you can insert as many as you like. If I want them to be the same, I can just copy this, paste it down here, leave all those that are like that, come and change maybe this to 9. When I come and refresh the page, this is not picking it because I don't have image 29. But since I had said alternative image as image, you can see the word here. So now I can go back and change this to image, say 9. Then I come and refresh. Since I have image 9, there it is. They are the same because I have given them the same height and width attributes, like this. They have the same height, they have the same width, so they will look equal. Even if the images you've downloaded from the website or from the site might not be equal, you can use splash.com to pick very nice images of almost any category, and splash.com you can go there and pick some nice images. So here is very important. If they are going to be equal, then give them the same values for the width and the height. So try out that with many more images, and then you will be able to move ahead. So we can look at another tag called a button. We shall look at buttons majorly when we come to forms, but it is also okay to look at this button. Maybe we can come here and here we say HR BR, then we can say button. Since it is a tag, which button do we want? Sign up button. When we just refresh our page, that is how it is going to look like. Scroll up, but we can add a few things to it. For example, we can say style. Style equals, for example, maybe color. We can pick sea green, and we go back and refresh our page. So you can see that the word is sea green. We can maybe change this to background dash color sea green, then we say color white smoke. We can as well add on other attributes. For example, we can say height, maybe 100 pixels. If it is not already 100, we shall see it expanding. So we come back, refresh. Now that is the button. So we can come and say the height should be 50 pixels, but then the width can also be 100 pixels. So we come, refresh, and now we have a button of sign up. There are many other things, other attributes we can look at, but that will be done properly in CSS. But for now, this is how it is. Maybe you can add one more such that you start getting familiar with these things. Font size, we can say 20 pixels, such that it looks a little larger than how it is. So that is a button. A few things you can do to it, and everything would be fine. So back, this is our code. That is creating a button. We are adding quite many things. That is why. So One thing to note is that when you have a tag that has an opening and closing tag, so far, let's say paragraph, you had a paragraph before, we type the word in between. If you also have another tag, like you have seen maybe A, we are writing whatever the user is going to see, or any person that is visiting our site, whatever is going to see is what we type here. We typed here Google, such that the user will know that this link goes to Google. So you cannot type the word Google here and then type in www maybe .ucu. So when somebody clicks on the link that says Google and goes to UCU, the person can be very, very angry. So remember that they need to match. Okay, they need to match such that somebody does not think you do not know what you are trying to achieve. So that is a button. We can come to lists, for example. Under lists, we have ordered lists and unordered lists, and O. So for ordered lists, we use OL, O for order, L for lists, whereas for unordered lists, we use UL, as you can see here. For unordered lists, these will create bullets, whereas these will create numbers, and each of these tags is followed by what we call LI, or list items. We are going to try out that shortly. So that is the main difference between ordered and unordered lists, and we can also mix them. These lists can be mixed and they would come out quite well. So we are going to look at all that in a bit. So let us go to our Visual Studio Code such that we can try out this. We can maybe say HR, BR, and then we can begin with a paragraph and say we are creating an ordered lists. So we are creating an ordered lists, and we say they begin with UL, so that is UL, and for every UL we say LI, list item. We can say bread. Okay, we can also say LI, and then we type soap. We can say LI, and then we type say what do we deal with? Food. Yes, everybody, or most of us, like food, so we can just use food. When we refresh, we have breaded, and we have bread, we have soap, and we have food. So we shall have created our first unordered lists. We can try it out with, we can just copy this for the sake of being erased a little bit. We come here and say we are creating ordered lists, and instead of OL we now say, rather UL we say O, or L, not 0 but O, letter O. So the rest can be the same. We come, we refresh, and that is the difference. We are creating ordered lists. So we can do this. You can also try it out, and you can see how neatly they look, or they are done or pressed. And then we look at how to manipulate or mix some of these, what you can call nested links that is going to follow.